Trouble, aka Mariel Orr, 34, grew up in the East Atlanta Edgewood area. He started rapping at 14. Trouble recorded 2 albums and several mixtapes. He was a talented musician and songwriter. Jamichael Jones, 33, was in a relationship with an unidentified woman for 3 years. They were living together, but they broke up after Jamichael hit her during an argument about him not having a job and not helping pay the bills. On June the 5th, 2022, Jamichael forced himself into his ex-girlfriend's apartment. His ex-girlfriend and Trouble were asleep. The ex woke up to Jamichael punching her in the face. Jamichael and Trouble began fighting. The ex tried to help the rapper when Jamichael pulled out a blick and shot Trouble before fleeing the scene. Trouble was declared dead on arrival. Jamichael was arrested and charged with murder, aggravated assault, battery, and home invasion.
A judge has denied bond for the man accused of killing an Atlanta rapper during his first court appearance, and deputies say his mother helped them in the investigation. Fox 5's Mark Teichner has more from Rockdale County on how this arrest unfolded.
The sheriff here in Rockdale County is crediting Jones's own mother with making sure that he was taken into custody safely.
Do we feel strongly that he's our man?
Rockdale deputies hauled Jamichael Jones to jail. The 33-year-old Atlanta man is accused of killing rapper Trouble, whose real name was Mariel Orr. The sheriff's office had been looking for Jones ever since the weekend shooting took place. Monday night, that search brought them to the suspect's mother's house, during which Jones called her.
Mother turned the son on to one of my sergeants, who began to talk to him and convince Mr. Jones to turn himself in.
Jones told deputies he'd meet them near Southern Regional Medical Center in Clayton County. While they waited for him to arrive, both the mother and deputies remained in contact with him. During the overnight hours, Jones surrendered peacefully.
His mother was a huge resource in helping us apprehend him. Nobody wakes up in the morning wanting a bad outcome.
The sheriff says Jones hasn't shown any signs of remorse, but does appear fearful. He credits the hard work of the men and women within the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office for making the bust within 48 hours of the murder taking place.
And we've accomplished what we need to accomplish, is to get someone off the street for committing a crime such as this.
The sheriff says Jones didn't know Trouble. In fact, he says that it appears he had some kind of domestic-related situation with the woman that the rapper was visiting. Reporting from Rockdale County, I'm Mark Teichner, Fox 5 News.
Now, news of the rapper's death is starting to sink in for fans. 25-year-old Malcolm Clarence says he's listened to Trouble since he was 13 years old, but it's the man behind the music he admires for doing so much for the community.
He was actually a real, genuine soul, you know what I mean? He gave back to the community, he actually played a big role in the community. We had just detailed his car maybe 2 weeks ago, you know what I mean? So I didn't think my last time seeing him, giving him a dap up and a hug would be my last time physically seeing him, you know.
Family members tell us they will hold a candlelight vigil for Trouble tonight to give his loved ones an opportunity to grieve together.
Okay, so Jamarcus was with his girlfriend for 3 years, okay? And then they got into an argument and he punched her in the eye or in the face, and they got into an argument about him not having a job and not wanting to pay bills, okay? And if he hit her at that time, he probably hit her several times. So I guess after 3 years, she got tired of getting punched in the head every time she asked him for some pay, because that's what was happening. She was just like, what's going on, you know? Anytime she would address him being a broke-ass nigga, he going upside her head, okay? Anytime she called him a bum-ass nigga, you know, he going upside her head. Anytime, she refused his demands, he going upside her head. And on top of that, he was a broke nigga, so that's all he had was to go upside her head. He didn't have any money, okay? And when he seen Trouble over there, knowing Trouble had everything that he didn't, like a work ethic, money, you know, goals, stuff like that, he was heated because he didn't have any of that stuff. All he had was that woman that he kept smacking upside the head every time she made him mad. okay? Now she asked him to leave after that because she was tired of it. Now this guy comes back a week later. I don't know if somebody told him trouble was over there or whatever, but he busts up in there, broke as I don't know what, so I don't know how he got a blick. Evidently she must have bought him one because he couldn't afford one because he didn't have a job and he was broke. So he couldn't afford a blick and he couldn't afford a bullet. So more than likely she probably bought him that little blick that he had and the bullets because he was down bad, okay? He couldn't even afford Carmax and hot dogs and, you know, just regular type stuff, noodles and stuff. Like, he couldn't afford that type of stuff. And I'm willing to bet without this woman, he's in prison right now and he can't afford, you know, the cakes, the chips, the stuff that they make. He can't afford that stuff. He gotta get whatever the cafeteria is serving because he a bum, all right? And like I say, this guy was just abusive over a long period of time, all right? He was just an abusive bum, just a leech, just leeching off this woman, all right? And she got away from him for a week, the last week of her life. She was able to spend it without this leech. And, you know, trouble came over and they had a good time. And this guy, this bum, he goes over there, he's heated. He kicks the door in, and I don't know why. Trouble must have been very tired or something, because when you're over there at some girl's house that you know, that's not your house, it's not your main girl, you really don't sleep. I know I really don't sleep. I just kind of close my eyes, but I don't really go off into a sleep. It's more like when you over in that type of situation, you kind of sleep how Eddie Murphy slept on Harlem Nights when he was over old girl's house. That's kind of what sleep you have. It's not that deep sleep. It's one of them Eddie Murphy Harlem Nights. I'm over here with Calhoun's girl type of sleep. You know, it was one of them type of sleep. So that's what type of movie it was, you know, to me. So this guy done kicked the door in, all right? He's in this apartment building. He comes in. Somehow he kicked this door in, and they were still asleep, so they had to be tired, okay? So he walks in, he sees them still asleep. He sees her asleep, and then he just starts drilling her in the head, all right? He just drills down on her head, beating her up. The same thing he got kicked out for, all right? So as soon as he busts up in there, he's right back at it again. Boom, 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 right in that eye, right? This girl wakes up, you know, nightmare. She sees this guy, he's there again, punching her in the head, and then Trouble wakes up. He wakes up, he saves the day. He start getting old boys, you know, start getting in this stuff. And just like I say, when Trouble starts getting back with him, this guy's a coward. He goes for the blick because he can't box a man, all right? He's too scared to box another man. But if it was this female, he want to box her. That's what type of guy this guy Jamarcus is. And, you know, I know his mother turned him in, but his mother raised him like that. His mother didn't teach him not to hit women, all right? So but she did do the right thing by turning him in, but some of it was on her because she taught him to behave like this, all right? So this man he want to box women, but when it comes to a man like Trouble that want to, you know, hey, let's get this fair one on, let's get this fade on. He don't want any of that. He want to go for the blick when it's time to box a man, but when it's him against a female, then he wants to box, okay? He wants some type of advantage anyway he go. And this guy, I don't know why she was with him, because you could look at him, you could tell he was a bum. He wasn't the type to be able to afford Jordans or anything nice because he didn't have a job, so he didn't have any designer or anything else that the young brothers be having. His dude he was just whatever he could get from her, whether they be thrifty nickel shoes or whatever. He probably had her to buy him some nice shoes and stuff, so he looked nice when he with her, but he wasn't buying any of the stuff. He was just like a big kid in there. Every time he didn't get his way, he going upside her head. He don't get his video game. He don't get his shoes. He don't get something to eat. You know, she don't cook his chicken right. He go upside her head because that's all he had. He didn't have no paper. So I don't understand why she would even deal with somebody like that. Like, he should have been like escorted off the premises a long time ago, you know. But like I said, she thought she did do the right thing by getting rid of him for a week, and he comes back a week later, like it's like his name is on the lease. How is you kicking in the door like your name is on the lease and you ain't got $2 to your name? You a bum. You broke. Every time you gotta eat, you probably came back because you hungry. Every time you gotta eat, you gotta ask this woman for some pay. You was probably over your mom's house for that week eating. Ain't no probably, I know you was at mom's house because mom's turned you in. That's where you went. After you blicked trouble, you went back over to mom's house. This dude's just a bum, man. He was just a bum. It's just straight up. This dude Trouble should still be here, and this bum shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is, and you know, that's all I got to say about that. Long live Trouble. I'm out of here.